All the way live. All the way live. Let's get it. I'm sure none of you are probably in here yet. I got to bring up some shit here and make sure where we're at. Notify everybody here, man. I've been anxious trying to get on here, but you see how long it's taking to just kind of get through these picks, and I'm sitting here like, anyway. Let's get into this thing, man. I got a bunch of notes. I've done a ton of homework. More homework on this draft than I have in probably 10 years, man. I used to be, as an old school Warrior fan, I used to be the draft. This was it, right? This was everything because it just was. Here we go. What up? What up? I see y'all. Yeah, man. As you can hear me, as you heard me rambling here, I wasn't even sure anybody was in the thing yet. This is so long. It's like 4 or 5 hours. So I wasn't trying to just sit there and so I don't have that much to say, right? You know what I mean? I'm not going to pretend like I'm a draft expert. You know what I'm saying? I've done my homework on our supposed picks, but the summer league and this next season is where I really get my stuff. What's good, y'all? Let me try and send a notification out here to those on Patreon. Let's see here if I can edit live now. But what do y'all think so far? I'm obviously most of you know I am out here in the desert in Phoenix. Phoenix. Yeah. All right, I think I got that. Hopefully that out on the dashboard there. What's going on, Donovan? Brandon, I see you. Wheezy, Spence. Yeah, I didn't know how popular this would be. Oh, so Boston just took the dude that everybody kind of wanted from Washington, right? Thibault. Yo, the thing with Bol is I was listening to Gottlieb today, and he said he's seen him. What up, Ed? Edward. I know some people don't like their names being shortened, but he was saying that Bol, if you see him in person, what's really startling is that he doesn't really bend his knees when he plays. And then I also heard, who was it? The former GM that's doing the NBA TV stuff, the brother, Billy King, was talking about how what you really need is a great photo of that foot in that broken foot, because the foot with 7 guys that size. So we're talking that shit. Maybe Bol. What up, Kendrick? What's going on, y'all? This draft, I mean, nothing too surprising. As I think the storyline right now is that teams are prioritizing shooting. You saw Hero, right, go. You saw the kid Johnson go to Phoenix, right? So they're prioritizing shooting. Maybe was good. But I have a ton of notes. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get this stuff off. I guess we'll just chill, kick it and watch it. Again, this isn't like the normal, I've never done this. One thing that I've noticed is how emotional, as I see this kid here crying right now. Oh, he looked kind of soft, bro. Like, I know you're probably thinking to me, like, who are you to say, Alk, you're like the same complexion as this brother right here. I'm looking at Thibault. It's not the complexion. It's just his features and obviously he's crying. It's kind of hard to look tough when you're crying, but he just looks he kind of looks like a square. You can't have too many nerds on one team, right? He kind of got a Harrison Barnes act to him. What's good, man? Yeah, you haven't missed much. So the shooting, I just hopped on. I tried to send the notification on. I've been kind of waiting and biding my time because, as you see, this is kind of like a 4-hour event. I wasn't going to be on here that long. I wanted to time it around the Warriors picks. And now that we're in the 20s, I'm like, all right, let's get on here. I think the obvious thing here that people are talking about is the Atlanta Hawks. Cam Reddish, Hunter, and then they've done so many swaps. I took the notes on it here. I saw that the one, was it the Serbian got taken that the Warriors had their eyes on? So Hunter, they're basically building a crazy young Warriors nucleus. What's good? Appreciate y'all hopping on here. That's why I figured it'd be hard to talk. Yeah, see this kid. The thing about this Thibault kid, I know everybody's saying he's the best defender. and obviously I'm not going to be up to date with some of this stuff, was you know that most of that was done in a zone. So I definitely peeped his instincts. I loved his anticipation, and clearly he's athletic and long, but I don't know. I think it's good value at where he was at. I think it's good value in the 20s. I like Ty Jerome. I'm looking at the big board. I got a couple guys that I like. I like Ty Jerome. Oh, that's what's up. Finally caught one. Was it just the timing? And I'm going to start archiving these because I know a lot of people can't, right? So, and I'm going to go live for free agency June 30th. I got my boy, shout out my boy Rory if he's listening, man, but he blessed my daughter and I. He is sending her to Stanford basketball camp on Monday. And so I'll be in California Monday through like next week. So my content, I'm going to try to do some vlogging from there. I don't know how it's going to go. And then I'll be back that Sunday as free agency hits, and I'll go again live. And then moving forward out of that, then you're going to start to get the regular content throughout the off season as we can really start to talk and break down about what's happening, right? Because it's right now we're just waiting. We're waiting on Durant. We're waiting on Kawhi, waiting on this draft. I heard Kendrick is it true? I heard that they cut off the NBA Reddit streams. I saw a rest in peace thread on that. Someone snitched it out. So my plans for the Bay Area is I haven't been back unfortunately, since one of my childhood friends passed away. I want to say going on 3 or 4 years. I haven't been back to the Bay. So I have to, it's going to be kind of a just quick visit. I got to visit my sister who's been in the hospital. She's just chronically ill, but I'm going to visit my sister, my aunt, my uncle, my boy Rory and his pops who funded the trip, man. So big shout out to them, truly blessing that. And then getting her up to Stanford is kind of a pain in the butt because it's way out of the way. But hopefully I'll get a night out to just like, if I get a night out, I'll tell you what, if I get a night out at a bar, I'm going to post it on Patreon because if there's any Bay heads, and I'll try to give enough advancement to just have like a meet and greet. No promises, but I will be up there next week. And I don't want to commit to anything because again, I haven't been up in so long that I have to see the family because they would be super offended, and I got to. It was depressing in Oakland, but the gentrification, Palo Alto. Yeah, man, I'm gonna see what's up. I'm excited to go back, but it's always a week. Honestly, is too long for me. I'm such a homebody, but it's really about Amaya and her trip up there, and really an experience of, because it's one thing to have a dream and say, oh, I want to play college basketball, but to have that experience at a camp and kind of like smell the gym and see the dream, it's a big deal, man. So very blessed for that, Rory. Very blessed. Oh, you talking about the team losing or leaving? Yeah. Someone's in the comments, someone made a great point. Like, I think people are underestimating how long it's going to take for the Chase Center to feel like home, right? And again, there's this free agency stuff. So have you guys heard that the supposed sign and trade for Durant, right? That's what the thing was dropped today, I guess. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Would you put, I guess, how would it work that he gets a no trade clause to protect himself from us like screwing him? You know what I'm saying? And trading him. Not that we would do that, but I'm just saying I've never seen anything like that. So I'm not really sure, but that would be amazing to kind of give us that asset of, from what I understand, it would basically let us use that cap space, whether we get it in assets or expiring contracts. If it's just that. Okay, so Brandon Clark just came off the board from Gonzaga. Sam Presti only drafts athletes. He has like such a type. And this kid's from Scottsdale too, isn't he? There's a lot of hoopers out here, man. My guy, Vaughn Compton, Ball is Life. I used to hoop with him in a rec league out here at Mountainside Fitness. And now he's training that Nico kid, that number one prospect to U of A. And he has this sick basketball facility in Scottsdale. I want to get the youngins up there. Not real familiar with this kid. Didn't watch a lot of Gonzaga. I know that he's more of an athlete than a hooper. Yeah, cheaper. I'm just catching up a little bit on this here. The CP3 shit. Have you heard so CP3 for Gordon Hayward? I don't understand what the fascination is with Clint Capella. Like I'm cool off him at his bag. Right? They were saying someone had tweeted out Dinwiddie. I've long been a fan of Dinwiddie. I don't know if some of you remember I did a YouTube on Dinwiddie when he was kind of breaking out. Shout out my guy, Richard Kim, a longtime patron. He argued with me. He said, "You're tripping. Dinwiddie is not good." And I beg to differ. No, he's not. He's not like a star, right? But Dinwiddie's a nice player. And he has one move. Dinwiddie has one move. The hang hezzy right. He hangs hezzy right, and then he goes the same direction. It's his only move. But he's so long, and he's just mastered it. It's like a boxer with a jab. That's all he does. What did I think of the Mike Conley trade? Good question. Hit me with these, guys, because it's and ladies, if there's some joining us, because we got a ways to go. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'll be honest with you. I understand that Utah, this is the only way for them to acquire players, via draft or a trade like this, because no one's going to sign with them. No free agent is going to sign with them. That's an A prospect. A top tier free agent's not going to sign there, right? You may get, even Derek Favors they've been able to retain guys because of the culture and the fans and stuff there, but they've never just outright got a free agent. I liked Grayson Allen. I like the move from Memphis, honestly. I thought they might get a little more, but why I don't like it for Utah is that's an awful small backcourt. Right? And Mitchell, I talked about him being half-baked offensively. I still think that he kind of needs the ball in his hands. So you're going to play Mitchell off ball with that small backcourt. Conley with the huge bag. He's going to be 32. I don't think, this is kind of crazy. This is my take, though. This is what it is. I don't think Conley is drastically better than Rubio. And I kind of like Rubio. I had brought this up in a live. And people were, I know Rubio is kind of a polarizing player, that I like Rubio maybe more than most, but I don't think Conley's like a huge upgrade over Rubio. Oh yeah. Did I hit that on here? Where's it at? I have that.
Where your sorry husband
at? Hell yeah, man. I'm trying to work in. I understand. I don't want to overuse the soundboard. So those of you that were annoyed with the last pod, because I'm trying to break it up, I'm gonna transition with just like some quick beat drops, right? Where it'll just be like a quick drop, right? Like that. And then just like it's alchemy. Right? Just like that. But I don't want to get too crazy with it. Because I get carried away with it. But I have everybody in my house saying this.
Oh my God! Wow!
That's the all-time greatest soundbite. But yeah, so I wasn't a huge fan of that. The Conley move. I thought Minnesota should have tried to get Conley. Now I know I guess could they afford it with Wiggins and Towns on the books? I don't know if that's possible, but I thought that would have been really good. For Utah, again, I thought Rubio was pretty good, and then you're pairing him with, you've got 2 6'1" guys in the backcourt. Conley's smaller than Mitchell, I know a bit, but yeah, the soundboard breaks it up, man. Cool. Yeah, because I love it too. I know sometimes it doesn't always work, but you're not gonna bat 1,000% with the jokes in the soundboard. But yeah, man. So I think Atlanta, Travis Schlenk. I'll throw this out here because obviously it didn't happen and it's wild, and the Warriors would never do this, not knowing what Durant's doing. But I had this little theory going that if Durant had told Golden State, like, excuse me here, I'm drinking my Kirkland sparkling water. But if they would have told Golden State, look, I'm not coming back, I think if Durant doesn't come back, I think it may be time to move off of Draymond. And I know y'all know my stance with him, right? And I was thinking Atlanta, what they're trying to do is build Warriors South, right? With Travis Schlenk, and you got Trae Young, you got Collins, Herder, right? And I thought, what if we traded Bazemore, matches salaries with Draymond, right? and Bazemore fills in for Klay next year. Then we get a bunch of these picks, and then we reload around that. Obviously, it's not happening now as we're speaking, but I had toyed with that idea of moving Draymond to Atlanta because Schlenk and they're loaded, man. I'm telling you, Cam Reddish, man. I think that we're going to look back on this draft and kind of realize like, yo, what were teams thinking, dude? Because he's smooth. And and from what I've seen, I did a lot of scouting this week, and I've just been chilling every day reading I'm trying to do more reading and not just watching stuff. But I pay a lot of attention to the interviews. Yeah, first I'm checking shot mechanics. Then I'm checking mobility up and down the court and laterally, like the shuttle drills. I like to check the shuttle drills, the wingspan, all that stuff. But then I want to see the interview. I want to see how the dudes carry themselves. And yeah, see that trade, water polo, that didn't turn out too bad. I guarantee you it's not. But the one thing that I noticed about Zion, man, like we talked about there being a lot of emotional, let's see where we're at here. See, I'm rambling. I'm not even paying attention. That's what I was worried about. We're at the 22nd pick. How many picks does the Celtics have, man? Are they going to trade one of these? Ainge is a wild boy. He's going to go get that kid, huh? That kid from USC. He looks like a shooter, like a real shooter. Right? He looked like this type of shooter.
Go get the strap.
But Zion, his humility is legit. That's what I like. Like he immediately praised his mom. You know, they all do the stereotypical mom and God thing, right? But there's Zion, it's pure. He's pure. It's genuine, and his humility is genuine. And so I think that's special, man. And I think I'll say it again. I'll take this. I took the stand of this a while ago. This was long before the draft, before the tournament, I believe I took this stance. I think Ja is probably going to have the longer, better career. And again, it's just health. The only question with Zion is health. And I just don't know, man. I don't know. I'm praying for him. Yeah, Thibault was taken. He was taken. So here's my guys. What are we at? We're still at 22. Wow. Yeah, his weight is genuine. That's real as hell, right? That's my concern is like if he comes down, can you imagine if that like what happened with Klay? If that happens to Zion, it's gonna be nasty, man. It's gonna be nasty. But I'm praying for him. I'm excited to watch the Pelicans. I'm excited to watch Atlanta. Atlanta, man, I'm gonna do a bunch of their breakdowns, man. He does, and he probably needs a plant-based diet. To be honest with you, I don't know. I know for myself at 35, I've done all sorts of diets. I've done everything, and not necessarily diets to lose weight. I'm a relatively thin dude, but just for performance and to remain lean and strong and all that to be my best self. And I know for myself, with my fiber of muscles, I do well with carbs. Like when I go low carb, I feel all sorts of fucked up and groggy. And when I eat a bunch of carbs, my body transforms that into energy very well, and I still stay lean. So I think they just have to figure out, guessing from his build, he probably needs to do no carbs, and he probably needs to get his energy off fats and proteins, just a guess. Okay, we're at commercial here. Way too many steaks. Should guys Klay size just not dunk? What do you mean by Klay size? Give me like a ballpark of that size, because Klay's kind of like the generic NBA size, 6'7", 220. Anything you eat transforms into, yeah. So then you probably got to cut out the sugar, ZX. The sugar is what helps. It's the blood spiking. Mark, I can always count on you for some wild shit. Okay, so are you saying should guys Klay size just not dunk? Nah, man, Dr. J was, no, I don't think it's that. I think Klay, so here was the thing, man, and I didn't speak on it because of the injury, and it didn't matter. What was done was done. But when I knew it was going to be a precarious landing and situation on that play, because you saw, obviously Klay doesn't know he's being chased down, but when you go up with two hands, you can go do it on a mini hoop. Go do it at one of these schools that has the 7-foot rims. You basically are super vulnerable in the air. When you go up with one, Usually it means it's off 1 foot, but one foot, two hands, you have no balance. So if you're going up with two hands, you really need to get the rim good, meaning like you need to hang on there and kind of swing around or delay your landing. Like if you go up with two hands and just try to flush it and come down with nothing slowing it down, it's a bad look, and you're very vulnerable in the air. And so when Klay went up with two, if Klay would have went up with one hand, I don't think it would have happened. I hate to say that, but that it's the two-handed stuff that leaves you vulnerable unless you're like a JaVale. If you're like a 7-footer or like Durant's a 7-footer, if you're a guy that just really doesn't have to elevate much to dunk, then it doesn't matter. But if you have to get up and you go up with two, it's kind of an all or nothing proposition, because if it doesn't work out and you're not able to stick the landing, it's ugly. Jordan Bell, exactly. Jordan Bell his knee is always ready to almost fold under him every time. It makes me nervous as fuck. And Jordan Bell, I've talked about this before. He does a lot of things that are, I just got a glimpse of Bol here. I want Carson Edwards. I know he's 6 foot. Here, let me get my measurements on him. I've done my homework. I like Edwards and I like Dylan Windler. The white boy from, was it Belmont or something like that? I think he's from Belmont, the shooter. I have a feeling that they like him as a shooter because, let me talk about him first. I think he's big enough to make up for his lack of athleticism. Like, he's not going to get killed because he's pretty smart. He moves without the ball, and he can kind of put it down and get his shot off. Like what he's doing, I know he's at a mid-major, this kid, but what he's doing, it's not relying on athleticism and athletes around him. He has enough range and enough size that I think he can just get his shit off no matter what. It's up here. Is the kid going to be, bashful in the NBA? And then Carson Edwards just has the juice. He has the fucking juice, man. And who I'm talking about is that kid from, he's like 6 foot, but he has a 6'6" wingspan, and his hands he's built like Eric Bledsoe. He's an Eric Bledsoe type athlete. So you know me, I usually don't like the smaller 6 foot guys, but he's got the length, the strength, and the pop, and his shit's just definite. I think he's a sure thing, man, as like just a spark plug off the bench. I think he's an Eric Bledsoe type player. Now, he's much more offensively inclined than Bledsoe. He's like the offensive version of Bledsoe. And I know that there, you say, well, Quinn Cook has none of that pop. Oh, so you don't like him? You don't like him? Again, admittedly, I only saw his game in the tournament, and then I watched a bunch on him, but he just has that swagger. And I'm telling you, big hands, 6'6" wingspan. He's way more athletic than Quinn. Go look it up. When they run, whoever gets him, he's way more athletic than Quinn. And I just think as a shooter, I think his athleticism, I think that his size isn't going to be as much as a factor. His range, his pop, his explosion, his built, he's like Bledsoe, man. So I like that kid. And then am I saying, me with the names, man? I feel like a fool mispronouncing the guy's name that I like. But Dylan Windler and Carson Edwards. And again, I'm not saying like I followed their whole career, but this is what I did all this week is I just looked up interviews, highlights, stats, measurements, and then kind of read about like their upbringing and their groomings. And those are the two guys that I like. But we'll see here. We're only still at the 23rd pick. This is interesting. And then for those of you that don't know, we bought the 41st pick from the Hawks for $1.3 million. It's nothing. It's nothing to Joey.
Every day I'm hustling.
It's nothing to Joey Lightyears. He just threw 1.3. He scoffed at the notion. Oh, Darius Baisley. Is that that's a very un-Utah-like pick, right? A lot of people like this kid. Yeah, super athletic. We certainly miss JaVale. We certainly miss JaVale as a vertical threat. And you know what was really apparent during that series was our lack of athleticism. Now it's relative to who you're playing, right? But against Toronto, we just looked so unathletic. With like up and down the floor, out in transition. And I think we missed his athleticism and then just his presence around the rim. I think he could have really affected Siakam and Serge. I think he could have really affected Siakam and Serge in the paint. But from everything I've read about it is JaVale, you remember even last year when he came back, he reluctantly came back because Kerr, for whatever reason, just doesn't really like him. And I don't mean him like as a person, but he's not a big fan of him as a player. And so I think that's what ultimately led to him moving on. And then when Boogie signed, of course, I think that was it as well. Nasir at 28, he's not going to slide that far, is he? See, this is what happens. I get caught up talking to y'all and I stop paying attention. No way. No way. Let's see. He's still available? That's almost a red flag, though. He must have had some bad interviews. Man. The Darius Garland kid, doesn't that? I know this sounds silly, but have you ever read it or researched at all into like your name can kind of course your life, right? Like certain people's names. There's this theory behind your names and how it can guide you in a certain way into who you become. Darius Garland just sounds like a star basketball player to me. He just sounds like a star, and his shot's wet. His shot's pure. All I had to do was watch him take like 2 or 3 jumpers, and I was like, ooh. And so I really like Darius Garland, but I'm not sure that he's going to work out with the young bull in Cleveland. Cleveland, I know they're trying to make Portland East, but I don't know. That's a very unique thing, and I think that CJ is not an alpha, and that's why that works. And I think you bringing in Sexton and Garland are both alphas. So I don't know if you can reproduce that from what Portland is, because CJ is not an alpha. That's why that ultimately works somewhat. Yeah, y'all are on that. You're all on that. Ty Jerome at 24. I like Ty Jerome. I think I interrupted myself saying that and then got into Carson Edwards and Windler. I like Ty Jerome. He's a very Warriors-like player. Yeah. See, I don't know how to say his name. The kid from Santa Cruz. Shout out to my guy, David, his fellow countryman, right? And from what I saw is I'm take it for what it's worth. I'm not trying to claim like I'm, Mel Kiper here. He had really good hands, right? And then really good anticipation. Like all the things that you can't teach, that kid has. How do you say his name? Alan. I'm not even going to try to say it, right? But really good hands, really good kind of just in like anticipation and instincts for the game. I don't know. It's hard to measure watching him in a Santa Cruz G League game, like how athletic or if he moves well enough to be to be on the floor for meaningful minutes. But you can tell what helps with that is when you're lacking pop and athleticism. If you have a super high IQ and instincts, then you're in the right spot at the right time and you don't need it as much. I'm not. And who did he go to? Remind me here. Kobe White. Yeah, for sure. But the fact that he slid that far, and then the fact that Bol's sliding. Oh, see, I'm behind here. Are you guys just getting the Twitter Woj extra early? Is that proposed trade to Boston? Okay. I don't really like how Philly. I don't trust Philly building out their roster. I really don't. But what was I saying here? I'm telling you, Windler at 28, dude, that's the dude I think that they want. That's who I think they want because he's big enough to make up for not being great and being that good of an athlete. But then he's got some shiftiness. Like he can get his shit off. If you watch him, he has like a 3 dribble ISO move. Like he can hit the little step back and he moves without the ball. He smells like a Warrior player, man. Just the way he plays, like high IQ and just a wet shooter. Okay, someone was asking me about Kobe White. And who took him? Was it Chicago? Who took Kobe? I got to get in my notes here. Look, again, so the Windler, I don't, he could be a bust. I don't know, but I'm saying from what I've seen, yeah, I think I like it. It's just pure shooting. You can put him on right away and spread the floor, and he seems pretty smart. He seems pretty smart of a player and a little bit of a bounce, right? Like you can't just run. What I like is he's 6'8" legit, and he averaged 10 rebounds a game. So that says something about his mobility. And then he has enough off the bounce that you can't just run him off the 3-point line. Like he kind of shoots at his own pace. If you run him off, he'll pump fake you, sidestep pull, or he'll even jab you in and step back. So I like him. I like Windler, and I like Carson Edwards. Windler and Carson Edwards are my guys that I've circled. I also like, I don't think he's gone yet, is Nick Claxton. Is he still on the board? Lanky. We're talking about JaVale. This Claxton kid's kind of JaVale-y, but he can pop the three a little bit. It's funny, though, because you see these guys shoot the three in college, and then they get to the NBA, and they're scared shitless to shoot it. So that's kind of hard to see with the big men especially, right? The guards are forced to shoot it. But, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, he's still on the board. I liked what I saw from him as far as just like his bounce and his confidence stuck out to me. When I watched him, it was like, certain guys just had that juice. Like he was like, yeah, had a little bit of an attitude, and you could see he's not going to be intimidated at the next level. Now, is he going to shoot that three? I don't know. So those are my three guys I liked. The Bruno Fernando dude looks interesting, but I mean, I think with Damian Jones on the roster, I doubt that here's another thing that needs to be mentioned is, Mark, your guy, Jacob Evans. Well, you haven't really killed him yet, but I'm sure some of you have heard that Myers and co have said that they're developing him into a point guard. They want him to play point guard in summer league. And so I don't know if that alters what they're looking to do, or is that just translation? Like he's never going to shoot the ball like we thought. So he's going to have to have the ball in his hands. But I still think he has potential as a defender. I think he's a smart player. But if they're planning to move him to the one, then again, Dylan Windler, he's coming. And he's gonna hit 10 threes in his first game in summer league like Marco Bellinelli. You talking about Chauncey Billups in the maroon with his he's looking dark, man. Okay, this kid. Oh, that's Nazir. Yeah. So he slid from like we're at 25. He was supposed to be a lotto pick. That's why he's dying. That's why he's dying out there. So I don't know what he did. He must not have interviewed well, man. You see it all the time. I was working with these kids. Oh shit. MP's in the building. I like Bagley. I like Bagley, man. I like Bagley. There's so much fun stuff in the NBA, man. I'm over the depression of what happened. I really am. There's so much fun stuff, and I'm excited. In a way, it's more exciting, isn't it? Like never mind the injuries. The injuries are fucking terrible, but just overall, what the Warriors may have to do, it's kind of exciting, man. I'm gonna peep that though, MP, because I like Bagley. I don't know where I watched. I think it was on a Kings YouTube channel. I watched a long special on Bagley. Or it might have been out here because the kid, he played high school basketball out here. But I like him. I've always liked him. But what else was I rambling on about? Yeah, the league's going to be crazy. Maybe. And you know who would be perfect to do that is that Carson kid. Carson Edwards, man. I'm telling you, he's got the juice. You heard the Dion Waiters what's going on here? Are they filing out of here? That Kevin Porter Jr. kid, very kind of Nick Young-like, right, out of USC. What did he do? He got caught like keistering crack. Boy got caught keistering the crackles. Got to stay away from that shit. What's Swag, what do you mean Steph MVP talk? So Kevin Porter Jr., my take is he can't be that. He's too good and athletic of a prospect for him to still be on the board is a huge red flag. Like the kid's probably I don't want to call him a piece of shit, but I guess that's a lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying? Like he's too good of a prospect when you see him on the floor. To if he's still on the board, there's something wrong with his attitude, obviously. Yeah, we just got to get in there. So they're saying that Steph's going to just go off and shoulder the load and try to have an MVP season, get the third MVP. Hey, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But I guess, like, at what cost? I mean, I want him to just do his normal thing. I don't want them to get out of pocket using Steph for one season, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I don't need him playing 39 minutes, 40 minutes a night and taking 30 shots. We needed 30 shots in that game 6, but I'm just saying I don't want to overuse him just because. Let's not lose sight of, like, the big picture. Yeah, I don't think it's in Steph's mentality to get up 30, man. I don't. I think I don't know. To be perfectly honest with y'all, man, and I know that it's like my guy Richard and some of you in Draymond. Look, I love Draymond for what he's brought. I'm kind of ready to move on from Draymond. Now, if Durant signs and it's like, all right, let's put this on pause and run this back in a season, then I get it, right? But I guess let me clarify this. It's not that I'm cool on Draymond. I'm cool on Draymond on another max. That's what I'm cool on. And so you got to, let's see this pick here. Okay, so they took him, Portland. That could end up being a steal for Portland, man. I just question, again, just like with the Porter Jr. kid, when a prospect that's kind of has so much potential slides like that, and he doesn't have an injury, that to me is a big red flag. Yeah, I've been move on mode from Draymond all year. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, if the core four is gonna all stay together long term, then I get bringing him back because it's just part of what it is. But like if Durant's leaving, I don't think we can max Draymond. I just don't think we can. I think we have to turn him into depth, athleticism, and youth. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Right, exactly. Draymond, and I'm going to do a piece on this in the summer. Draymond, don't steal this shit because this shit is fire. Draymond, remember when Antoine Jameson was a Warrior and in the league and in that era? Remember the tweener label? He's a tweener. Draymond turned the tweener stigma into being the hybrid forward. Right? He turned that stigma around, and now you're seeing it everywhere. Half these guys being drafted are that type of player. And so being a pioneer, part of the cost of being a pioneer is eventually people start to catch up. You no longer have that advantage of being first. And so I think we're seeing some of that. And then it goes back also into what I was saying about him not being a hooper. He's not a shot maker, and we haven't seen him improve as a shot maker. I don't know, Mark, man. I think someone maxes Draymond, dude. I think the Suns do it because the Suns are fucking nuts, man. The Suns are nuts. Yeah. So some of y'all are with me on Draymond. Like, look, he gets his number hung in the rafters. When he's done, he gets his number hung in the rafters regardless. I'm just saying, you got to be smart about this shit. You can't hold on to him for sentimental value. He's not a guy that's going to age well. I always feel bad for these kids that are there and the camera's waiting on them. I guess it's a character builder. So let me throw the names that you've heard. So you heard the Dion Waiters is perhaps a trade. They were talking about a Sean Livingston. Send him there, let him retire, and then you eat the cap. I'm no capologist, but I've heard Waiters' name being floated around. I like Waiters, and I think Carson Edwards is the same type of player. My thing with Waiters is he going to be healthy? He had ankle surgery and sat out like 18 months. And he gets fat. So that's my concern about Waiters. I think he'd be really good for like 20 days, for like 20 games. And then like, I don't know, man, he doesn't seem to be able to stay on the floor. But I've also heard the name Reggie Bullock. I've heard Kentavious Caldwell-Pope of Clutch Sports. Now, KCP, I think, would fit. He better take like a bargain deal. How tall is this Maria Host girl, man? She is a tall glass of water. She's got to be like 6'2". She's in flat shoes, standing even-eyed with like half these prospects. My goodness. Maria Taylor. They need to upgrade her. They need her on more stuff. Move Beetle and all them broads out of there. But KCP, there's funny business going on with him as Clutch Sports because the Lakers have thrown him like 2 one-year bags that he really didn't. I don't even think he had a market value of. So I don't know if there's some like wink shit where KCP now is going to take a lesser deal on 1 or 2 years because of, I don't know what's going on there. There's some like Eddie DeBartolo shit. But yeah, KCP fits. Reggie Bullock is similar, but he's not as good of a defender. But Bullock, what I like is he's very versatile. Bullock can run Clay sets, and he's very good at curling and catching. But he's not the defender. Yeah, she's a tall glass, man. I like her. Volleyball player. Suns got Aaron Baines for who? For what? What an act. So you're telling me the Suns are going to roll out Dario Saric and Aaron Baines with DeAndre Ayton? Yo, I'm calling foul.
Oh my God! Wow!
On who's the fucking GM there? The ugly fool, LeBron's boy. His name is escaping me. Who's his Jones? Who's the Suns GM?
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Whoever it is, he a dead man walking. No, but James Jones. But like, did you see what they've done? They traded the 6th pick for the shooter out of Carolina who's like 28 and Dario Saric, and now they're taking Baines when you have Ayton. By the way, centers don't play in the league. Like your 7-footer can play like 15 minutes tops in a meaningful game. Is James Jones like a infiltrator? I don't know, man. I don't know. I knew Richard would hop on here and talk his shit. on Draymond. I hear you, man. I hear you. But dude, you have to acknowledge. So Richard, are you willing to pay Draymond the max? 4 or 5 year max deal at some point here moving forward. That's my thing, dude. That's my thing. It's like Draymond's incredible for the fit of what it was, but is it going to be what it was? Who should we target in free agency? Yeah, stock up on 7-footers who can't come out on the perimeter. Again, I know that's crazy. I know it's crazy talk, but we got to see who we're drafting here. I can't give you. I'm gonna have a full breakdown moving forward into free agency and after the draft. But let's see what they do here, because if they get the little guard, then it'll change things. So we got to see with these 2 picks. Yeah, that's what I think someone's paying them the max. I just don't want to be the team to do it. That's the kid I wanted. That's the kid I wanted, man. Look at this kid. It's slow. It's right. He doesn't have pop. He's not athletic, obviously, but he's big enough. And then the shot's pure. Lefty. Damn, man. I think that was the target. I really do. All right. Well, next up, I want Carson Edwards. I really do. I'm not sure if he's projected in this area. I don't see it on this dude's board. Gordon Hayward. I love the white on white comparisons. We all do it. We're going to take Porter Jr. Here's the thing. Porter Jr., he's very Jordan Bellish, right? And not just like the hair, but right, like the maturity. Kerr doesn't seem to like these kids that are kind of dripping with swag and a little bit of attitude. That doesn't really fit Kerr's MO, man. Yeah, Julius Randle's finna get a big bag, though, Zach. Randle's going to get more than DeMarcus. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. The only way I think we have cap is if Andre calls it quits for some reason. Yeah, we can't afford Randle. Someone tweeted me something wild. Someone was like, yeah, how about we get, I was like, dude, do you know how much this fool's going to get paid? Oh, yeah, someone tweeted me, could we get Eric Gordon? I was like, dude. But, and I'm guilty of not looking at contracts too, but I also understand how strapped we are. All right, so the Nets are on the board at 27. Trying to catch up with who's left here. So he has Carson Edwards, the Purdue kid, 8th on his big board right now. And see, Bilas, I don't know, man. I mean, he sees way more than me. But I don't know how much NBA Bilas watches. Yeah, I don't know if they'll swing at him, or will they swing at Bol Bol? Well, here's my one concern is moving into the Chase Center. And I know Lacob, I'm not questioning Lacob's want to win, but I also know he's a businessman. And so Bol Bol would be huge revenue. He would be huge revenue. Oh, the Clippers just stepped in. So who do they want? I'm trying to think, who would they want? Who's on the board? That's what I was what I was talking about with Andre. I think in the finals in that playoff stretch, he was saying the right things, because you don't want to, during a playoff run for the title, you don't want to say, yeah, man, this is it for me. The writing's on the wall, right? But it's sure, if you read between the lines for a lot of the things Andre said, it sounded like he might be considering it, and he just didn't want to say it during the fucking finals, right? So it wouldn't shock me if both those two retired. And if it's time, it's time. If it's time, it's time, man. I think I wouldn't blame either one of them. It seems like it's a real task for both of them to stay on the court, more than 40 games. You think they're getting Bol Bol? Livingston's, I think, is all but done. I think he's pretty much clarified that. Taco Fall. Taco's intriguing, man. 10 years ago, you'd have been a top 10 pick probably. You think Andre's done? So that's got to free up some cap room. Then here, the guy, okay, so you asked me about free agency, and this is someone that I would want regardless, is Rudy Gay. I think Rudy Gay he could be a poor man's KD. I was really impressed with how he recovered off the Achilles, and he's not gonna clap at Steph for the ball like y'all hate so much, right? But he's not, don't get me wrong, he's nowhere near KD's tier, right? But he has the same skill set. He's like a bigger 3-4 guy with the mid-range shot, shoots the three all right. Okay, MP, he said he's coming back. Yeah, he did. He did say, I know we'll be back strong. I don't know. But yeah, Rudy Gay would be a nice pickup. But I think a lot of teams like the Lakers now, and however, if Brooklyn can land what they're trying to land, then you're going to have Brooklyn and LA competing for the same players we're competing for, like trying to convince, like, hey, take maybe a smaller deal to be part of this winning team. And now we can no longer really sell that. But at the same time, now we can sell minutes, because the buyout market, it was Bellinelli, right? Bellinelli went back to San Antonio. Reggie Bullock, he went to the Lakers. Wayne Ellington went to Detroit. A bunch of shooters were on the buyout market in February this year. And from what I read and heard, none of them were interested in the Warriors because we couldn't promise them any minutes. And so we're not going to have that problem anymore. But we're not going to have the like, hey, hop on for a ring story either. So it's going to be interesting, man. So you're saying Clippers just got this 27th pick? Maybe they're going to go for Bol Bol. You know what makes me nervous is the fact that they're trading in front of us, and then you take into account Jerry West. They're going to try and snatch our target? Is that what's going down? Harrison Barnes opting out of a $25 million option. That's nuts. Is Caruso a free agent? I like him. I like Caruso. Excuse me. Yeah, the logo might be just the fact that they swooped in right here, man. We'll never know unless, I don't know, Bob is pretty forthcoming. He may say, yeah, they jacked our target. But usually these GMs, they say we got the guy we wanted when it's really not even the guy they wanted. They don't want to tell the kid like, hey, man, we didn't really want you, but, oh, damn, the Elephant Man in the Brooklyn jersey, the Elephant Kid. You know what? I was talking to my guy about Barnes opting out. To me, it kind of signifies So many Canadians. Canadians taking it over. Interesting. Oh, I saw this kid. I like his motor, man. I like his motor. I noticed he wore a lot of big knee braces. I saw them in the tournament and just before in the conference championships. I like his motor. Yeah, I like his motor. And you see, when West moves in and sees something, I can see what he sees. Very athletic. That's a JaVale McGee type player. Just a high motor for a guy that big and athletic. He doesn't have the bounce JaVale does. You see how he's walking? He wore 2 big knee braces, if I recall, at Florida State, but his motor was great. Yeah, I'd take Barnes for the mid-level. Okay. So they're just trying to clear cap. Is Woj saying they're just trying to clear the cap for the double whammy? The Kyrie KD shit, man, that ain't gonna work out, bro. Let me see. Yeah, this is the kid. See the knee braces? That's the kid. I remember him. Good motor, man. Probably a little more skilled than JaVale, like offensively, but he just kind of reminded me of him. Let's go get Carson Edwards, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you, Edwards is going to be a baller. Carson Edwards is going to be the offensive Eric Bledsoe. Bol, Kevin Porter Jr. Oh, you think they're going to go Stanford because Lacob, you know he likes the Stanford players. You think they're going to go Stanford there? Don't ruin it. If someone's got the ahead of time looking at the tweets, because I know that the picks are in on Twitter. Yeah, Barnes isn't betting on himself. Honestly, I think Barnes knows his value is only going to go down, so he's looking for like a 4-year deal. I think that's what that is. But don't ruin the pick if you're on Twitter seeing what it is ahead of time here. At 41, maybe they could get Carson Edwards at 41. I don't know why I'm still holding out hope for him. Who else? Or maybe everything that Myers said was shooters. And that's why I thought it was going to be the Dillon kid. So KZ, is that how you say his name? I'm not even going to front like I watch any Stanford basketball. I watched him. I watched his, I did a little bit of scouting on him. He's got a nice spin move. The one thing I don't like, and I'm talking about this KZ kid from Stanford, the one thing that I didn't like about him is if you watch on his release of his shot, I don't like his landing on his shot. It's kind of off balance. It's not consistent. Great shooters, one thing you notice is they come down. Not only is their shot and release the same, but their landing's the same. Obviously, if like someone's under their feet or whatever, you see Steph and these guys alter their shot to either draw a foul or protect themselves. But the one thing I noticed about the kid from Stanford was his release, his landing is inconsistent. I don't really like his balance on his shot, but he's smooth. He's smooth and long, and he's got tools. I didn't ask Siri to activate. Siri activated off smooth and long. I don't know what's good with that. Yeah, I don't know. Barnes is a wild boy. I don't know who's going to give him. Like I said, I think it almost is like indicating he's not betting on himself, because it's like if you take the 25 and you say, all right, well, my value is going to stay what it is, and he's not going to take that. He thinks his value is going to decrease. Who else, man? Who else is here? Depth across the board. When's the last time you've seen the Warriors need of that? But everything that Myers has said going into this week is we need shooters. We need shooters. Kevin Porter Jr., the thing with him is, from what I've seen, is he kind of needs the ball in his hands. He's kind of like an ISO guy, ISO and go guy. Looking at Billis's big board here. Fuck it, take Carson Edwards, man. You know what it reminds me of? Yeah, Nicholas Claxton's on there. I like Claxton and Edwards, but I know we have the 41st pick as well. But it reminds me of Montrezl Harrell. Not that Carson is the same player, obviously, but it was very clear when you watch him, you're like, oh, this kid has the juice. Like, he's going to be a player. Like, he's going to be a star? No. But I guarantee, as long as he stays healthy, he's going to have pop, and he's going to be a nice player for somebody. But again, I hope they're not too in love with Quinn Cook, and that would, they don't want to Quinn Cook it here. Those of you, I'm not reading the questions. I want to get the ticker here. I want to experience the pick here. I don't want to just read it from someone ahead of time. So you guys will get my reaction on the pick when they call it out here on my ESPN telecast. I guess I'll tell a quick story here before it goes, hopefully quick. So I headed off. My wife's piece of shit Honda broke down, so we're down to one vehicle. So when she comes home from lunch, I drop her back off so I can have the vehicle, perhaps hit the gym or go train. And my youngest, I'm like, all right, well, let's go to the rec center and train. And she's like, no, I don't feel like it. So I was a bit disappointed. Like, all right, you don't want to work. It's lazy summer days, right? And if that doesn't happen, if she doesn't train, that's like a youth center, a rec center. Then I go to LA Fitness and I hit weights. And so I dropped my wife off, and something told me, like, let me just go up to the rec center. I'm not even really play. It's usually crowded in there in the middle of the day. You can't get on a basket. You know what I mean? So I'm like, let me get up there. And I walk in there, and there's one person in there. The gym's completely empty. And the one kid in there is this kid, Darius, who I used to work with at the group home nearby. And he's a senior in high school. One of the closest kids I was to. I hadn't seen him, 6 months, 10 months. He's in there just shooting jumpers. And it was one of those moments where it's like, dang, man, like just the universe, the universal pool of shit. Because I never go in there solo. I only go in there with her. But I was like, let me go in there and just see what it looks like in the day. And ended up working and drilling some stuff with him. So expect a vlog with him and a couple of other kids I used to coach that are now going to be seniors. We're going to try and get some encore drills and play some hoops here when I get back from California. So that was a dope little moment today. The pick is in. Get to it. Don't show the Klay injury, bro. Don't show the Klay injury. I'm sure, again, some of you already know the pick because you're cheating ahead. I'm going to turn it up here and live this thing live as I can. Here we go. Who? Who? No worries, man. No worries. But who? They flushed the bowl. Dude, Mark with the writing. All right, I must confess, I didn't even scout this kid. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Are any of y'all familiar with him? Taking a look. Everybody's got the ankles showing. Everybody's flexing the ankles, huh? Yeah, MP, I didn't scout him. There was such a big group of players in our area. I didn't scout this kid. He wasn't on anybody's list. Man, I don't know. I'll tell you what, I liked the pop. I like the way he moves. I like the confidence that he moved with in the short clip. Okay, Richard. So he's an athlete who shoots the three ball accurately, is what it looks like. Walmart Oubre. Yeah, his body looks ready to go at pause at first glimpse, right? He doesn't look like he has to fill out much. And that in and out spin move, that's a advanced move, an advanced handle to be using even at the college level. Mark, you just a hater, dog. Add the feet and it drops. But how do you know how many of those threes weren't a couple feet behind the line? The one they showed there was deep. A lot of the college kids, because of the way the zones are set up, they're pulling from well beyond the arc. They're not like towing the line. But just to play devil's advocate. No, I agree, George, right? We need some guys with some pop, right? We also need, since Bell's is falling out of favor, I don't know if we're going to retain him. We need a little bit of attitude too, right? Draymond can't be the only guy with a little bit of attitude out there. So they passed on the Croatian. They passed on the Croatian, but maybe they have eyes on him at 41. Athletic Quinn Cook. No. He's way bigger than Quinn. Right, I know. CP. Oh, see, y'all, I got to get on Twitter. I'm missing out what y'all talking about. Let me hop on here. I know this isn't great live content, but you guys are getting stuff way before I can. What's happening? Someone update me. Right? First thing I see is Slater's asking, would Pola been there at 41? That's a great point. They must really like this kid because it was almost a reach, meaning that he probably could have still been there. They must really like him. Let's hear him talk. All right. I didn't hate the interview, right? You know how, sometimes you see a kid talk like I had said earlier and you're like, I don't know about that dude. Oh, his name is Swaggy. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. So he's got like real flash to his game. I don't hate that. Y'all know how I feel about Swaggy. I don't like, as long as his personality ain't that way. Okay, Keldon Johnson, he slipped too, right? What's he doing? Flipping the... See, just that alone, him taking that off and doing that, I don't like that. The nigga he's been waiting 3 hours to do that? Come on, bro. Splash nephew. Sleepy pool. Oh, I like that. Okay, Richard. I like that. No, I think it's a good sign. I think it's a good sign that they took him when he wasn't projected because it means it means they're more sure of him, right? If they would have taken a guy that was like in the projected area, it's like, hey, okay, that's the safe thing. But it's a good sign if you do have faith in Myers and what they've been doing. The fact that they took him when they could have maybe got him at 41 means they really liked him, right? So that's a good sign. That's real. Well, maybe they're moving Draymond out of there. Okay, so then the second round, I think it's 2 minutes between picks. I don't know how long how much battery life here. Hopefully I can hang on this camera till then. I got it here on ESPN. DeRozan-ness. Are y'all ahead of me? Because I'm looking at Keldon Johnson here. Yeah, no, mine's live. Oh, you're looking at Tyler Herro? But Herro did you see his suit? That boy's suit was something else, man. One thing, someone had brought up the Rockets thing here a couple minutes ago before the pick. The funniest shit ever was Daryl Morey calling. Did you guys read this? He called the Knicks and offered them CP3 for the third pick and like probably Mitchell, you know, whatever. Morey's just like a savage. Like that's insulting, isn't it? Think about that. To call the Knicks in their scenario right now, hey, would you be interested in Chris Paul for the third pick and Mitchell Robinson and Kevin Knox? Like Morey, you know, we joke about it, but at a certain point, when you propose ridiculous things, at a certain point, it becomes insulting, right? And so, I don't know how easily it's going to be for Morey to move out of this scenario as much as he likes to move. No, you can hang with Loon. No one wants CP3. He's getting. Have you looked at the back end of that? I think he gets like $40 million his year, like 36 or 7 or something. Something crazy. The only dude they can trade Gordon or Capella. They're gonna have to trade. They're gonna have to cough up Gordon and Capella to like get up off something. Or I don't even know, man. Yeah, I feel you. As long as they are, right? But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. They did. But I said it when it first happened. I was shocked that it worked so well in that honeymoon phase, right? But when it first happened, personality-wise, I was like, no way those two get along. And the honeymoon phase is a real thing. We all know it as you get older in a relationship or anywhere, at a job, right? You know how like the dude, you know, it's almost the people at a job. I don't know, different people have different, obviously, businesses and places they work, but the new guy that's over the top nice and like over the top helpful, those are the fuckers, right? Those are the ones where it's a super honeymoon. They're really trying to hide who they are. The team has declined a free trade. Held for review. I don't know how to unhold these. Show. Yeah, we got 96 in here. All right, man. I apologize that I didn't know anything about this kid. I thought I had covered. I got this whole sheet of notes on everybody that I thought possibly would be in our range, and they go and pick a kid that was supposed to be in the. From what I've seen, I'm looking. He's projected behind even the 41st pick that we got. So I don't know. Do I have to refresh the chat here, or is everybody getting snacks? Oh, the message was retracted. Yeah, because they're alumni though, Ed, right? Edward, because you know what I'm saying, that if Bobo is at Oregon, right? So I'm sure they have a relationship. I don't think anybody's listening to Bell, but he's still on the board, man. At this point, you got to wonder about the foot. And the other scary thing about Bobo that I've heard from multiple scouts is they question his love of the game. He's kind of like his dad obviously is who he was. And you're 7'2". A lot of those guys, man, he's kind of been forced into playing. You know, he probably didn't have a whole lot of say into it. And I've heard several different people kind of say, you know, I don't know about his work ethic. I'm not so sure how much he likes the game. So you combine that with that and then the foot injury. And so I don't know. Maybe we get him at 41. I think given all the injuries and the uncertainty with how we fill out this roster, I don't think the Warriors are willing to take a flyer on somebody. I don't think they're going to take no potential fool. That's why I've highlighted the kid from Purdue. Yeah, they were saying that with Cam Reddish as well. They were. But the difference is Cam doesn't have the health issues, right? And I think with Cam, it was more of not necessarily the work ethic, but the willingness to yield and fall back. But I mean, he was playing with Zion and Barrett, right? And so that's why it works perfect for Reddish in Atlanta, because he isn't going to be the guy. He's going to be like a weak side shooter. He's going to be able to catch the three, pump fake, dunk, or just pump the three. And then the defense is the question is how much does he want to play it? The Bucks going to draft some crazy African. Have you heard the little rumors that the Warriors are targeting Giannis, right? Never mind KD. They moving off KD. They want Giannis and Steph. That'd be crazy, right? I don't know if so. Is Giannis? It's not. Is it next summer for Giannis? Someone remind me. If it's next summer, I think you could sell him on Steph. 2 summers from now, I don't know if you want to attach your wagon to Steph. I mean, the shooting's still going to be there, but he's going to be well moving out of his prime at that point. I told you they were gonna have a. Okay, this is the younger kid. I told you they were gonna get some African kid though. Did they already draft? No, it's not even in yet. I'm sped up here because I'm thinking y'all are seeing stuff ahead of me. Right. I honestly, someone had asked, who are we targeting now? I know I keep going on about the kid from Purdue, Carson Edwards. I'm looking at my notes here. Windler's off the board. Nick Claxton. So I like Nick Claxton. The kid's 7'2" wingspan, 6'11", and his confidence really stuck out to me. And the fact that he can pick and pop. He can pick and pop, and he's a vertical threat. So Nick Claxton, or I like the kid out of Purdue, Bruno Fernando. I don't know if we're looking for bigs, though, man. I don't know if we're looking for bigs. I think that there's more bigs on the free agent market, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I like that pick for them. Because you look at, one, how much trouble is he going to get in Milwaukee? I know you can get in trouble anywhere, but and then you just look at the personality and character of that team. Brogdon, Giannis, Lopez, right? He's going to have to, that's fine. They can have one bad seed because of how many high character guys they have. So that's a good pick for Milwaukee. That's great value for them at 30. Oh, it's a trade to Cleveland. Oh, I don't know about Cleveland, though. Cleveland ain't got no veteran leadership. Nobody listening to Kevin Love. Right? Like, exactly what I said why I liked it for Milwaukee, I don't like it for Cleveland. And then you put him in a backcourt with 2 young guys that are trying to prove themselves. That's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for disaster right there. I honestly don't have a scouting report on him, Tyler. I don't. Again, there was too many guys. There was too many guys to look at. If I seen him, I might recognize him from when I've watched them play. But a lot of these guys I'm gonna have to scout in summer league and then do my homework after we figure it out. Right. That's not a good place for him. Oh, you think Harrison Barnes will go there? I got to catch up with who's on the board, man. I'll tell you what, you're going to get a reaction out of me if we get that kid from Purdue. I'll tell you that much. I like it. Go all guards, man. Because you can bring back Bell. You can bring back Looney. You're bringing back Damian Jones. We've already invested a lot of time into those guys. Go get 2 athletic guards with pop. That's exactly what we need. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But here we are on to round 2, where it should be 2 minutes on the clock, so this should go a little bit faster. Bol slipped, and the Stanford kid slipped. I told you that there's something about his landing on his release that's very inconsistent, and he's not very athletic. OZ, is it? KZ? He's long, and he's smooth. He's long and fluid, but he's not very athletic, and there's something funky with his landing. I'm looking at these prospects on Billis's big board. Let me bring up a big board somewhere else. This isn't doing it for me. Yeah, he doesn't got the juice. He doesn't. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust or anything, but there's a reason he slid out there. I wasn't a huge fan of him. I'm also not a huge fan of Culver. Culver went to Minnesota right out of that Phoenix trade. And I know most of you probably know him from struggling in the championship game. But what it struck me, and maybe that's fine being in Minnesota because he's the third. He'll be the third option at best. It was that he forced shots, but his mentality and his demeanor was very like he didn't want to. He was doing it because he understood he was the best player on his team and he had to, but he didn't. It didn't seem like he wanted the moment. He seemed like he was just doing it because he had to, and I didn't like that about him. Horford. Porter Jr.'s a Texas boy? Who are we talking about? Oh, Horford. I heard speculation with Horford, either the Clippers or the Mavericks. Good. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I'm excited who someone had brought up. I'm excited for a guy with some juice, right? A little bit. I love some flavor. We want substance over style, obviously, but there's nothing wrong with a little flavor and some pizzazz, man. You got Quinn Cook out there. He ain't got no swagger. Jacob Evans, no swagger. Looney, no swagger. Damian Jones, no swagger. Right? Bell's the only one, I guess, but he can't stay on the floor. Okay, Culver. Al Horford. TJ, man, we can't, but Al Horford's going to command a massive deal. He just opted out of like $20+ million. So Al Horford is not an option for us. You're right. He would fit, right? He would fit for the time being, and it would be a fit just all around. But unless he's willing to take like a David West deal where he's leaving $8 million on the table, I don't know where Horford's going to go. Again, I heard Dallas or the Clippers. CBS graded it a D. But you know what I've been shocked about is, so these guys, they know they're going to be on TV. They're on ESPN. They're doing this coverage. From what I've heard, I think, you know what it is? I think it's the former player in them. And I think that they've built so many relationships, especially like Chauncey's and these guys. They don't really want to say anything negative about any of these kids. And I get it, but it's part of it, right? And so you notice, like, I've heard them call, here's what I've heard them call. I've heard them call a lot of these athletic guys good defenders. And then I've watched them, and I've watched the real scouting reports and read about them, and they're not. A lot of them. Like the Japanese kid, right? And I think he's going to be a nice six-man type of player, like a Montrezl Harrell type of player, better athlete, more polished. But like from what I've seen, like he's not a very good defender. He has the attributes. And I've heard them speak on a couple of these dudes. Good defender, and it's like, that's not what I've seen. It doesn't seem like they do too much homework. I think they just like, I don't know what they do. How do you say his first name? Like Rui? Yeah, he was a bad defender, man. Let's not front. And especially when you given his physical attributes, he shouldn't be that bad of a defender. Now, I'm not saying he can't get better at it, but it's a little bit alarming. Like when a dude is lacking lateral quickness and athleticism, you're like, all right, he's not a good defender. But when a guy's freak athletic and he doesn't defend very good, it's a little bit alarming. Rui. Okay. Rui. Yeah, no, I mean, he seems like it's a cool story. It sucks that he went to Washington, right? But yeah, I watched like 15, 20 minutes of clips on him and read up on him because I thought that given the Japanese connection, I thought it would be a huge revenue thing if the Warriors somehow, I don't know, I thought somehow we could maybe get him if we dropped down and got him. So I watched a bunch of stuff on him, and his post game is nasty, right? He's kind of a post player. So I see him as a guy that you put him in the second unit and you just throw, just like Montrez, you throw him the ball in the second unit and you just let him get buckets. Right? That's how I kind of see him because when I was watching him defensively, he just, I don't know. When you have those attributes, you should defend better. That's all I saw. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's impressive. Yeah, no, I think he's a nice prospect. But they love to, whenever a dude's long and athletic, they're like, he's a good defender. And you're like, I don't know about that. Yeah, kind of like a Cantor. Obviously, he's a bit different, right? It's different, but it's the same concept. Same concept. Okay, here we go with trades. I thought that the round twos was 2 minutes between the clock, man. This is some BS. You see, going to my notes here. We need Carson Edwards, dog. It'll probably be KZ, though. I could see that because I feel like Lacob really likes Stanford guys. Does Lacob have season tickets to Stanford? Did the Luca kid go? That's what Connor. I don't know, man. That's a real red flag, right? That's a real red flag that he dropped. That's a real. Is the Luca kid still on the board? No, I think he got taken off. I had read somewhere that he was really soft. That people thought he was really soft, and he's been working at it. Okay. I'm just looking at my notes. And the other note that I thought was interesting is that I heard that RJ. Oh, there's the kid I like. I like Claxton. Damn, bro, with the spider. I like that Claxton kid. I do. I wouldn't be mad at that pick at all. We'd be adding athleticism in the backcourt and the front court. One thing I thought that was interesting was that RJ Barrett is actually right-handed. He does everything right-handed except shoot the basketball. So that's a LeBron type trait. But I thought the Jalen Rose comp for RJ Barrett was ridiculous. Okay, here's the list. I believe we brought in that kid, the Villanova kid, for a workout. Go Carson Edwards, man. Go Carson Edwards. Fuck it. I'm telling you, the size is not going to be a problem for him. They need to hurry up with this shit. Let's see if I have some thoughts here moving forward with. I'll throw a name out for y'all. Now, this probably drafting that kid from Michigan. I don't foresee them doing this because he needs the ball in his hands. And then Jacob Evans. But Derrick Rose is a free agent, right? Derrick Rose is a free agent. That would be interesting. This is the kid right here, man. Someone's going to go get him. I doubt he lasts till 41. He ain't going to last till 41. Connor's asking about Bol at 41. Not if the other big is there. Not if the two guys I still like are there. If they're both gone, then I don't know. So I apologize for not knowing their names, but Nick Claxton, if Claxton or the other kid is there, then nah. I mean, I've already kind of spoken on it. And if you had joined in, the fact that he slipped this far is is alarming, right? It has to be. Like maybe his foot is not good. Oh, and there's another thing I forgot to mention about him. I did hear about Chael. I'll speak on that here in a sec. He was supposed to be Bol was supposed to be around 240. And then at the combine, he weighed in at 208 or something. And so I think that was another huge deterrent. For sure. I'm not even drinking. You dealing with sober alk right now, man. I'm just chilling. I'm trying to stay hydrated and in the off season kind of detox here. KP. You see Porzingis get beat up in freaking Latvia? Someone put the pause on KP in Latvia, man. That was kind of, I don't know, man. I agree, Major. I agree. I think Evans, we can't write off. I'm excited to see him in Summer League. And especially if they're going to let him play point, then we're going to get to actually see him with some usage. Oh, that's the kid I wanted. I still want the Purdue kid, but this was the second kid I wanted. Take a look at him. He's pick and pop. He runs the floor. He's athletic, but look at the confidence. I don't know how much of the highlights or what highlights they're going to show, but just peep his swagger on the court. He's got a real confidence about him for a near 7-footer. That's a good pick. It's kind of Josh Allen-y, though. He's kind of Josh Allen-y, so I don't know. Oh, his pops is a 7-footer. Again, so I hear you guys are saying that these early grades are saying it was a swing and a miss. That it's either going to be really good or really bad, right? That means like we saw something and we know something that others don't. We really like him, or it was. But the fact that most people are saying he would have been there at 41 and we took him there, makes me think that it's a good sign. It does. It makes me now. Everybody, you could be wrong, but I think they feel obviously they feel strongly about him. So I think I'll take that. And also, I think that, like I was saying with Jacob Evans, remember Kendrick Nunn last year? And then I don't think Quinn was on Summer League. We had a couple of point guards on the Summer League team. But Jacob, first he rolled his ankle, but then he was off ball. And you know, a Summer League point guard is going to just dominate the shit out of the ball because they're trying to be seen. So if Jacob Evans is our starting point guard in Summer League alongside this other kid, then it's gonna be fun to watch, man. Yeah, this kid's confident. Jay Lynn off the bench, bring him back. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're kind of duplicating, but the difference is this kid, like I said, what I've seen is he will shoot the three. He has like a set shot three that he can run pick and pop. Again, though, the college line, that's one, like where Mark was saying, when you move it back. A lot of these guards will shoot the college three off the bounce from hella deep, right? But the bigs, a lot of the bigs are like Hunter from Virginia, right? They're towing the line. And so they may not be comfortable moving it back out to the NBA range. This kid might not be, but I've seen that he shoots the three, at least he did in college. Pick is in, move with it. Move with it. You're saying no way Lynn's leaving Toronto? Isn't Lynn a free agent? I mean, they may not keep him. I don't even think it's Lynn's choice. Or are you saying Kawhi is not? Did y'all see that the odds for KD? So New York during the playoffs has been a 2-1 odds to land KD, like by Vegas's odds. And then after the Achilles, it went to 50-50 Warriors and New York. So for whatever it's worth, by Vegas's standards, the odds got cut in half that KD was going to the Knicks after he injured the Achilles. And it shifted back over to staying with the Warriors. And if anybody knows, man. Oh, there's the Stanford kid. He kind of reminds me, what was the kid with the fro from Stanford? He played for Brooklyn and he played for Phoenix and then he went to overseas. I forget. Yeah, he's long. He glides. Peep the jumper, though. They probably won't show a jumper. Bob Myers sucks. Steve, who did you want, man? Who did you want? Yeah, the Zion shit he's just undeniably so likable, at least in my eyes. Who was the kid from Stanford like 10 years ago? Some of you are probably way too young to remember him. There was a kid with a fro from Stanford who was very similar, just super long, and then ended up going overseas to play. Can y'all, Childress, Josh Childress. right? He's cut from the same cloth. He's maybe a little bigger than Childress, right? Right? But the similar like smoothness, not very strong, but just smooth with it. He kind of reminds me of Childress. And they both, obviously both Stanford products. Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome went 24, man. I thought he might slide to us. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ramble on about. Y'all know how I feel about these two. Could you imagine? Here's what I hope. I want Houston to trade Gordon or Capella or whoever, however they do it, to make the trio of Jimmy Butler, Harden, and Chris Paul. Like that's my ideal offseason for the Houston Rockets. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that will be like? That would be hilarious. And it'll break out into a fisticuffs. You know why I want it? Because eventually when Jimmy's had enough, he's going to expose the one thing. Say what you want about Jimmy. I've said plenty. The one thing he's going to do is he's going to say what happened, right? He's going to expose what happened at some point. He's going to come out and say, well, it's going to be hilarious. Oh, I'm watching it on my TV. Tony, I'm watching it on ESPN. Because my internet's been so shitty, I don't trust streaming like the live sports, even especially if I have to stream out to y'all. It would be epic. Butler, it'd probably break out into a fight, or they'd bully. I could see Butler and Chris Paul teaming up and like bullying Harden. But if Tony go to Warriors World. Go to warriorsworld.com. And then someone had a link on there. Let me see if I can post it in the comments. Give me a second here. But they've probably been commenting for so long on there. If you scroll through Warriors World, back a couple pages, I know that there was a link on there. Dwight. Yo. Where you guys were aware, right, that after Dwight, so I had a YouTube video on it, but sometimes we forget these things. So you remember Dwight, some dude exposed Dwight in his DMs saying that he was trying to bust his cheeks, right? And then that very week, the Wizards announced that Dwight was having like butt cheek surgery. Like, I'm not making this up. Telling you, man. Is this a trade? So, and Boston got him. See, Boston knows, man. Boston knows. Dude is explosive, man. And more importantly, he's fearless. Man. Disappointed. They should have taken him at 28, and then they should have taken the Michigan kid at 41. And he gets to the line, man. I don't know, man. Mark it down, y'all. I don't. There's not like ton of people I feel strongly on. This kid's gonna be a player. He's gonna be a player, man. Celtics, Danny Ainge coming through for them. He could. Bobo could, man. If he's not being cleared, that would be nuts. Yeah, he's just way more athletic than Cook. He has way more juice. Sixers with crazy picks. That's what y'all were alluding to here, right? Shit. All right, y'all. I'm going to run into my kitchen and refresh my beverage. Maybe grab a couple chips. I'll be back in like 45 seconds. I'm not going to drop the stream or nothing here, but we got some time here between these. I've been going for a minute. I'll be back in a minute. What up? What up? Oh. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's probably some of these players that I would like that I didn't scout. But all the guys that I kind of scouted and circled, this kid, the Claxton kid, the Purdue kid, they're all coming off right before our pick. Mark's a savage, man. He be talking shit to me for 2 years. We know you do though. This dude's built to go right now. You can see. The international flavor is crazy, man. Like every third player is like a foreigner. Yeah, I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna start to look up these other possibilities. Let me ask y'all this: is there anybody on the board that you favor at this point? It's so hard, like 35, 40 players in. It's super hard to know these guys well and actually want some of them at this point. But who on the board are y'all looking at? Yeah, man, he might be from the same island. P&B Pop. I like that. Live grades. CBS shitting all over us, huh? Let me see what they say. So is the kid is Poole older? Because they're saying he doesn't have upside. Yeah, no one knows anybody. Kenny Wooten? I don't know. Okay, the Villanova kid. It ain't gonna be. I'll tell you what. I'll go out on a limb here and say. I think Bobo. I think he's gonna go undrafted at this point. Wasn't he supposed to be like a lottery pick at some point? Okay, 20. That's whatever. Okay. You think the Hawks? Oh, yeah. I mean, if a team right there, that would be smart. That would be smart at this point, right? Where a team that can just risk it. I thought the Sixers might be given how many picks they have, but now that their picks are going like that, that's where I thought that's where his spot was. Yeah, he was. He was damn near a lottery pick, man. I wonder. I don't know, man. The workouts must not have went well. The workouts must not have went well. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that I had written down. That'll do it. I don't know if I'm going to make it here to this 42nd pick. I thought they said 2 minutes. It doesn't feel like 2 minutes. They'd be delaying the shit out of this. Did y'all hear that they were going to fire? I heard the rumor they're going to fire that whole ESPN pregame, Beadle and Billups and Pierce. And I'm all for that. I've been talking shit about them all year. They're just terrible. They're terrible. When's the ESPYs? The ESPYs is all right. MTV, maybe it's a generational thing. I flipped it over to MTV the other night, and there was the movie awards or whatever. I didn't even recognize anybody on the show. I saw The Rock, and that was it. Everybody else, I was like, who the hell are these people? I guess it's just me, but I felt like those awards used to be much more A-list back in the day. Yeah, I know. Can we get rid of those two? Yeah, Bobo ain't getting picked, man. Shit, I'm trying to get there, man. I'm trying to get there. But honestly, like the patron, I do like the, now don't get me wrong, like if I get a life altering opportunity, then I'll have to pounce on it, you know, from one of these networks. But I love the fact that patron, that I can kind of do and say what I want. I don't want to ever have to compromise like my integrity or my takes based on where I'm at. And I have to believe that that's what happens to these dudes because their takes are so fucking bad, right? Their takes are so bad. Let me let my cat out real quick. Steph. So some of you may have known yeah, we got a little bit of time here. Let me kill this. I finally caved in and allowed my girls to get a puppy. We're going on like 10 days now. We've named the puppy Jordan. She's a girl. And, you know, they're doing all right. They're taking care of her, but it's just, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. We're going to have to fence out the backyard and all this stuff. But I didn't want to be the dad that didn't let my kids get a dog. And they're so bored throughout the summer. So I thought it would be cool. And they love it. They love her. It's cool. It's a cool thing. Since we're such homebodies, I got to give them something to do. It's good discipline for my youngest, for her to be a disciplinarian. Yeah, Pierce is crazy. But let me see if I can go grab her real quick before we're on this board. I'll show y'all the newest member of the family. Hold on. Come say hi. Come say hi, pup. Come say hi. So this is Jordan. She's been pretty good. She's going to be a big ass dog. As long as the family keeps cleaning up the big ass poops, it'll be all good, man. It's good. I like animals. Out here in the desert, though, these animals, they kind of have to be, they have to be refined to the house a lot. But, you know, let me see the mic. Let me get the mic out of here. So, yeah, it's a good pup. It's a good pup. The girls are real happy, and they're doing a good job taking care of her. So it's a girl, but yeah, I keep calling her boy too, because Steph's a boy. Cody Martin, they're happy about this dude. But anyway, break things up with the little pup. Yeah. So I don't even know the names of. I think she's a mix of an American bulldog and some other type of bulldog. And I know she's gonna be big, but she's pretty cute. And they're spending so much time. They don't have much to do in the summer. They're training her pretty well, so it's good for the fam. Cody Martin. Yeah, I don't know any of these people at this point. So I'll just hang on here till this 41st pick, and then we'll wrap it up. And then I will. So I'm leaving for Cali on Monday. I'm going to try to drop something on our draft picks. I will drop a video on our draft picks. It'll probably be like a VOD pod thing for Patreon, and kind of go into more detail and dive back into seeing about these players, give a little more of a take on that and how the draft panned out, and leave y'all with that. And then I'll vlog when I get back for free agency. So it's coming at us. The NBA don't stop, man. It really don't stop, right? Oh, is the Dame from, so it's a real, MP, you brought it up. It's a real diss track? He really is going at Dame? Is it like in good love, or is he like talking that shit like he choked? People are killing him? Yeah, again, I'll go back and see what I see. I think from ESPN Plus, I might be able to even go back and watch some of his games. And so I'll have a better take on the kid from Michigan and whoever we get at 41 before I leave Monday for Cali. And then I'll be back we'll do a live when free agency hits. I don't know how quick that'll roll in and how long that'll go. But I think it's 6 p.m. Pacific time, June 30th is when free agency begins. And so I imagine we'll have a good 45 minutes of an hour where shit will just roll in, right? I don't know if we'll get the KD or Kawhi thing, but if we do, that'll be dope. And we'll just live react and watch it together. And then we can really start to get into this offseason stuff. I know my boy was asking me here before the I think it's Thomas was asking me on Patreon about the offseason. We're all waiting on KD. My bad. My battery died on the camera. Yes, sir, it did. It lasted pretty long. I need to get another one. So I'm using a GoPro now so I can like vlog with it and stuff. So as you can see, the theatrics of the green screen here, I can move it and try to fix it here. Kind of, who? They got quite a few Lithuanians, huh? Is there any tidbits on Twitter of like who were suspected to take? Is it the kid from Santa Cruz? He already got taken. Yeah, Cubans all but said it. Cubans like, man, the American players, they're ass, blah, 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 blah. Filters had the chroma. Hey, at least my internet ain't going out. I'm grateful for that. That shit was. Cancel. Close. Okay. We straight. Damn, how much you think that suit was? How much you think that thing was? Man, that thing looks like it was straight bedazzled at home. I don't know, man. Andre, no doubt he has value. I'm not sure how to go about preserving him. Right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just a luck thing. I guess keep him with the Sean minutes. Remember how you always hear Sean can only play 20 minutes? They're so adamant about that, right? But maybe keep him at the 20 minutes. And then if he would just get more, if he wasn't so reluctant to fucking shoot the three, then it's just math, right? Less drives to the basket. I don't want to discourage him from taking the better shot. But if he was just more comfortable pumping the threes, I think it would keep him healthier, right? You never see Kyle Korver hurt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so Bol had a broken foot, Tony. And then at the pre-draft camp, he showed up 30 pounds underweight. And yeah, and they asked him about, and they questioned his work ethic again because of being under 30 pounds. And they just kind of, you can talk to a kid and see like Zion, it's obvious how much he loves hoops, right? He's celebrating other people's baskets, right? And that's undeniable with him. I don't know. All right, I got a question for y'all. Summertime, there's no basketball. I mean, I know some of you on the baseball tip. I can't watch baseball, man. I can't watch baseball till October. But what shows do y'all watch? Or is it not so much TV? I'm trying to read more a little bit. I got a little bit of a backlog on the books. My attention span has just gotten worse and worse just because of life, because of our phones. But what shows are y'all watching this summer? Throw a good one at me that's not like the obvious big hits. Pichelle, the Villanova kid. Breaking Bad, Power. I fell off Power, man. When they killed 50, I fell off. Yeah, baseball. It's fun to go to the game. It's fun to have some beers and hot dogs, right? The Office is epic. Anime be kind of twisted though sometimes, man. Like I get it, it's dope, and like I used to mess with The Alchemist, but some of the anime stuff is crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm hella guilty of this, and it's I wouldn't know about this stuff if I wasn't married and it's what my wife watches, but all those TLC shows, those TLC reality shows, those shits are twisted. Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiance. I'm fascinated by how just dumb people are, man. So I can't lie, that's kind of my evil vice. It takes up a lot of time. And the family and I will do game shows, like Family Feud or Survivor at times because it's family friendly. Okay, 2K. Yeah, I'm gonna get my I'm gonna redo my online. What is it, like Xbox Live and PSN? And so maybe I was thinking we could do a patron 2K tournament or Madden tournament here with those of you that game. I think that would be fun. I don't have no online friends and nothing like that, so I've never done online gaming. Yeah, not right. 90 Day Fiance is twisted, bro. It's twisted. I feel guilty that I watched that shit, but it's twisted. I've heard about that. Jose. For me, it's super hard to start something. You know how the first episode or two, it's super hard. Like I tried The Handmaid's Tale because people were hyping that. And it's just, I don't know, man. I almost do just reality shows. Ozark. Yeah, I've heard that one too. I know Steph loves that one. Yeah, so I got some stuff. I got to get on there in the summertime. During football and basketball, that's all I watch. But in the summer, it's kind of like, all right, well, what now? Yeah, starting shit. You know what it is? It's because of the options, right? Back in the day, it was like, all right, man, you either watching this or this. Make a decision, right? Now it's like, well, I ain't really feeling this. I ain't really feeling that. I ain't really feeling this. It's moving fast on me. I haven't read that. Let me look. Let me put that on the list. That's the title. Basketball and Other Things. I was contemplating buying Sprawl Ball, and then the KD Marcus Thompson, but I'm waiting for it to go off hardbound because I'm a cheap bastard. Okay, we just bought up. Okay. So maybe we're taking Bobo. Bring him at the new. You know how lit the arena will be if Bobo checks into the game and hits a three, right? Like he can stroke it. The shot ain't bad. I just don't know what else he can really do. I'm not sure what else translates. But if we have 2 picks now within 3 picks of each other, does that mean we're taking the risk? Jay Williams. Have any of you tried that Blink list where it's like the 15-minute Cliff Note audio files on different books? I like a lot of psychology books too. I do all the sports books and all that, but I like the psychology ones too as well. Malcolm Gladwell type stuff. Oh, I know that trainer, dude. He's always showing clips. This Chris Brinkley dude he's always showing clips of Melo working on his mid-range pull-up. Like, really? Really? That's what we're finna do? Like, out of all the things Melo needs to work on, he needs to work on his pull-up mid-range jumper? I don't know about this trainer. I think he might be more style than substance. Bet. Bet, David. I'm gonna check that out too. Yeah, I got to get in it. There's this Bookman store out here, this used bookstore just down the street from me, and they just the basketball books, they never make it used, right? People just hang on to those. Oh, so this is the guy we won from Santa Cruz. We got him, David. We got him. I thought they were trading. Did we trade for him or not? I'm missing. Yo, Josh, this dude, I was in the sauna. I was in the sauna yesterday, and this old Vietnam vet dude, 80-year-old dude, was talking crazy. He was talking crazy to me. You're right, man. You're right. But here's the crazy thing. We're talking about, you know what my kids watch? I forget. There's a name for it. They watch on YouTube people eating and chewing and shit. The shit's nuts. They were like, Dad, you would make hella money because you chew and slurp hella loud. Oh, I think I did see this kid. Pure shooter. Oh. Yeah. Okay. My bad. I thought everybody was typing it. I'm like, what, is that some dude that got drafted? Is that who he picked? Yeah, whatever that is, they watch it, man. They watch it, and they were like, you would get a bunch of subscribers if you started doing that. I was like, that's not really me. I know I'm a loud ass chewer. That's not really me. It's not really me. The story for me is, so I've given you guys my background before. I was adopted, but I was adopted. My father's Ethiopian, and his brother married a Puerto Rican. So my family, everybody on this side in the Bay Area, Puerto Rican and Ethiopians. And the Ethiopians, culturally, you know, other cultures, it's polite to smack and chew and slurp hella loud. So I was kind of raised doing that shit. But yeah, people are into that, man. Oh, we hit him in Serbia. So I did actually watch a bunch of his stuff because it was accessible. And I had brought it up, Good Hands and Instincts, right? Let me see if there was any other notes I made on it. Oh, these are scattered. Okay. Yeah, basically. Okay, I was listening to Woj. Okay, the pick. Hold on, I'm not going to go into it. So we've got 3 rookies. Okay. I at least saw him. Okay. Villanova has a pretty good pedigree. Is that what we did? Okay, future. Oh, and we had, okay. But I don't even know if is 58 going to make a roster? Okay. The PJ Tucker comp? Good call, Richard. Good call. Yeah. I read that too. I had read that if I was in what someone's pre-write up, it was like if we draft him, it's a sign that we're not picking Bell's option up. Maybe it wasn't him, but I read that about a power forward, and I think it was him. It's Draymond's replacement. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more at him. I'm going to have to look more at him, Jeremy. If I had to guess from the little snippet that I saw, I think a lot of it is probably because he's taking tough shots off the bounce. But we'll see. 6'7" power forward. That's what the league's made of these days. Man. What time? Damn, it's almost 9 o'clock. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if Bell has... I don't know. It's hard to speculate. Is it the work ethic or just like the mental awareness? I don't know, man. I don't know how much better Bell would have looked if he was just like in Atlanta playing like 25, 30 minutes a night. You know what I mean? All right, y'all. I'm running down. I want to eat dinner. Again, I will hit y'all with kind of a recap of this before Monday, before I leave. Just like an NBA alchemy of all the moves of the trades and do a little more homework on these guys we finally took. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to scout, but I mean, we have plenty. We almost have damn near a whole summer league team now. So summer league should be fun. I'm going to hit my beat on y'all and be out of here. Appreciate y'all.